What up, Motorheads, Motorheads? So, we got some fun stuff going on today. We're gonna tune Gabe's car with the wideband, right? So, it's gonna be a methodical process, right? It's not always 100%, especially on the first time go around. But for the most part, right now we just have our air fuel ratio meter hooked up, or what some people call the wideband, right? From there, it gets hooked up to the exhaust. Let me show you. So, wideband's hooked up, it goes over to the battery. All right, so that's all lined up nice, comes down. It's hooked up to the exhaust in there. All right, so you guys can see wideband's hooked up in there. From there, it's gonna tell us the exhaust mixture, if it's too lean or too rich, okay? Now, the wideband to me is more of a guideline, right? So I don't always focus 100% on the numbers. I do want to get them close to it, but I don't hyper focus on the numbers. What I like to look for is to pay attention to the car, how it reacts, right? Now, can you tune without a wideband? Yeah, you can. Back in the day, there was no wideband. People just tuned, over and over and over. They would raise the jets or the air bleeds, the low idle, all that stuff was done by reaction, how the car reacted, and some really good tuning guys who knew the Hollies inside and out. I don't, I'm not that good. I go kind of by the wideband. I'm good enough just to be dangerous. It's pretty much what it is. So I don't hyper focus on all that stuff, just the reaction of the car really. So the car is a little bit too rich on the primaries and a little leaner on the secondaries. And let me explain that. No. Okay, folks, so these are our primaries, right? These are secondaries. So when these are open, those butterflies are open, the car is a little bit too rich, all right? And the jet's number 72, so we're gonna go down to 70s because it's kind of close. These, when we were floored all the way through, it was leaning out going to 14. 14 is a little bit too lean for me on a Bridgeport, especially for this one, because the ports we have on are pretty big. So we're gonna kind of even it out. We're gonna go 70 and 70, and then reassess and go from there. It's a process.
All that gasket.
So the gasket is coming apart. See all the little blue stuff? We got to change out the gaskets on that.
It's going in there.
So here's the jets. The jets are on that plate. We're gonna remove those and put the new ones on. I like having fun with the carburetor, right? Even though it's a little bit of a hassle because you get fuel on you and you gotta have, that's the problem with the Holley. You gotta have things on hand, right? You gotta have a jet kit. You gotta have gaskets. You gotta have air bleeds. Back in the day, people would drill out the air bleeds. It's what they did. Like these right here, nowadays, these you can change. Like see how they got the slot in them? Before, they didn't have that. So they would take this all apart and they would drill the holes in there to make them bigger, to get more air in there. Gotta understand the system and how it works so that you can make the modifications to it. But they're not that difficult. They're on the simple side. I mean, I got a GPA of 1.13 in high school, okay? So if I can figure this out, y'all can figure this out. Promise you that. So Gabe did the 70s already on this one, and he's gonna change out those right there, the secondaries. So he changed the primaries, and he changed the secondaries. And go from there.